Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how super quick and easy it is to install SuperATV's full soft cab enclosure on this Ranger 1000. So let's jump right in, and the first thing that we're going to do is get a 50-50 mix of alcohol and water, and we're going to wipe down our cage and our plastic all the way down and around. So we're just going to take our mixture here, and I just put it in a spray bottle and make it a little bit easier, and we're just going to go all the way up and down. We're just gonna go up, and we're just gonna go through and just really wipe it down. Really wanna make sure that you get any dirt, dust, or debris off of the plastic here and off the cage as well. That way the Velcro really adheres to the surfaces. And then we're gonna come on the inside. Just want to make sure that we get it nice and clean here, get all the contamination off of the cage. And we're going to move back here to the back side of the cage. And we're going to just go right up this portion here, get it nice and clean as well. And then what you're going to want to do is do this at least 2 more times, so 3 times total, and then repeat these steps in the same locations on the opposite side of the machine. So next we're gonna get down into the hardware kit. We're gonna find our Velcro. It's gonna be labeled C19. We're gonna come inside of the machine here, and right here where the spot that we cleaned up, we're gonna take this Velcro and we're gonna apply it right here to this flat section. So we'll go ahead and we'll peel the backing off the Velcro here. So I'm just gonna start with a section like this just to get it lined out. And make sure that you have it the right length here. It'll be something about like this. When you apply this, you just wanna go around it evenly. So I'm gonna start like on the top side of my Velcro. Make sure I firmly press it down and then kind of rub it a little bit to make sure every piece of it is sticking. And it is, so we'll just tear off another little section here of Velcro. Start at the top. We're just gonna go through and really press it down onto the cage of the machine. And if you have a little bit of excess, like we have just, maybe ½ inch of excess here, you'll just want to trim that off. That way you don't have any excess hanging over. It's not gonna hurt anything, it just makes it look a little bit nicer. And see, there's just a real small little piece that we cut off of there. Then we're gonna grab our cab door here, and we're gonna hang it and kind of just take a look at it and see where everything else is gonna line out. In the instructions, we tell you where you need to put them, but it's never a bad idea just to take the cab door, lay it up there, stretch it out, just to make sure, you're getting everything in the correct place. Next, we're gonna grab the piece of Velcro labeled D, and we're gonna apply it to the cage right here in this area, right above this mount. So we're gonna start right here, just kind of work our way around the cage. Make sure that we're really tucking it in there. Make sure that you have it fully seated like that. Then we're gonna take E, and it's gonna lay right in this region here. We're gonna wrap it around the cage and tuck it in on the back side. I wanna get it started all the way down this seam. And as you're going down the seam of the cage, make sure that you're really firmly pressing it on there, just like that. And then we'll just kind of roll this edge around. And as you're rolling it, make sure that you're firmly pressing on it. So now we are going to grab F, and F is going to sit right down here, just like this. Next, we're gonna grab the strip labeled G, and we're gonna come right here to the side panel of the machine. And we're gonna space it out away from the corner right here, this edge. Roll that edge over. And we're just gonna kind of try to maintain that same little bit of gap that we had. Then we're gonna grab H. It'll be 18 inches long, and this is gonna run down like this. on the machine here. And then we're gonna grab the section labeled I. And this section is gonna run right down through here. We have a Nerf bar installed on our machine, so it makes it just a little bit more difficult to get in there. But you can absolutely do this if you are utilizing Nerf bars. Just get a good little piece started here. We're gonna run it down as low as we can, almost to where it wants to touch the skid plate. And I like to get a good section started along the bottom. You know, make sure that you're keeping it about as low as you can keep it. Looks like we may have to trim a little bit off back here for the Nerf bar. As you can see here, we kind of have a little bit of a bend that we're gonna have to get around. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of notch the Velcro right here in this location, just to make it so it'll lay down. Come right here and cut off our excess, just because we're running a Nerf bar, remember. You're probably not gonna have this issue unless you are running Nerf bars as well. And we just wanna go through and make sure that this is all fully seated, make sure it's tucked down in here really nice. Now we're gonna grab the strip labeled K. And we're gonna start right here and work our way down. And as we go down, just make sure that we're getting it fully seated in all the contours. Especially this one right here. It's kind of a tricky one. I'm just gonna kind of just continue following it down. Then here comes another really tricky one to get it fully seated into. Gonna take our razor. We did that, and then we can take our strip and really tuck it in there, and that's just going to make it fully seat, you know, make everything stick a lot better. So we're just going to continue down along through here, just really making sure we're getting it on this seam. Let's go through and make sure we have it all fully seated down through there, and we do. So then we're gonna take this piece labeled J. It's gonna go right here, down to here. It's almost gonna connect the two together. So we'll go ahead and remove J off the strip. Start right here at this contour of the plastic. If you have a little bit excess, you can go ahead and trim that off as well. Next, we're gonna grab the Velcro strip labeled A, and we're gonna apply it starting right here, all the way down the cage. Run it down just like this, and we'll go all the way through. Make sure that it's fully seated. You know, if there's any air bubbles or anything like that underneath of it, just try to work those out. Just push them out the sides. You can even kind of pick up on the Velcro a little bit on one side and kind of push it out. Next, we're gonna grab part B, and we're gonna install it right here to the contour of the cage. So you just wanna get it applied to right here. Then we're gonna grab L, peel it, and we're gonna stick it right here on this location. Now we're gonna grab our door, we're gonna get it laid up in a position and see if we have any minor adjustments we may need to make, which is possible. You may have to adjust it a little bit. Every machine's a little bit different. See right here, we're gonna have to make a little bit of adjustment with our Velcro. We're gonna have to move it over a little bit. And we'll come back here to the rear. Start kind of getting it in position. And you may need to come down just a little bit with our enclosure. Getting this cab enclosure is just a lot of, just moving it around, seeing where it's gonna fit the best at. Now what we're doing, we're just really pulling on this cab enclosure, trying to get it as tight as we can. That way it has the best, snuggest fit possible. So I like to just go through and just really pull down on it. Try to get all the waves out. Just make sure we're making good contact everywhere. It looks like we are, it looks like it's on there. So at this point, we have our door installed and it's all done. If you're only installing the doors, you just repeat all the previous steps for the opposite side. But if you're gonna be installing the rear portion of the enclosure, you're gonna wanna unzip your door. That way this portion of the cage is exposed. And we're gonna head on to the next steps, which is gonna be, you're gonna go through with your 50-50 mix of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and water. And you're gonna go through and you're gonna wanna clean these areas. The cage here, it should already be cleaned from the previous install of the doors. And then we're gonna go inside and all of the back portion, like directly back behind here, you're gonna wanna clean all that really good, 3 times all the way across. And you'll come inside of the machine, directly around here and make sure this is nice and clean. Everything needs to be cleaned 3 times. I can't stress enough how important it is for the machine to be clean before you install the Velcro. So we have ours clean. Now we're gonna grab strip E and we're gonna install it all the way across this portion of the cage. We're gonna start right here and we're just gonna run it all the way along the back side. And now there's definitely gonna be some contours here that you're really not gonna be able to get your Velcro into unless you make some cuts. And I like to just take a razor knife and just anything like this, all the way down through here, make a little notch right here, that way it lays flat, and then right here make a notch. And then on these, just kind of make a little V notch on the sides, that way that lays in there a little bit. It's just gonna help it from getting any dust or debris on the back side and making the Velcro wanna come off every time. So we're just gonna grab a razor knife, like I said, make a notch right through here, make a notch right through there, right here, right there. That way it all lays in there nicely. See, that way it all kind of gets on there. Nice and flush. Looks really nice that way. You just gotta be careful whenever you're making your cuts. You don't wanna go down too deep and cut your cage up. Right there. And then right there. So I just take my fingernail and just really tuck it down into the contours there. Look just like that. And then we'll go over here and do the same exact thing we've done for all the other ones. Get it all nice and tucked in, and yours should look just like this once you've made your cuts with your razor knife. If you already have SuperATV soft cap doors installed on your machine, this next part you're not gonna have to worry about. This would be section D, E, and F out of the door kit. But if you don't have them installed, you'll need to grab section C. And what we're gonna do is we would come over here like this to the cage. So it'd lay on there just like that. But we are installing doors today, so we're just gonna go ahead and use these 3. Like I said, it would be D, E, and then F. So we're just gonna install those just like we did for our doors. Starting right here. And then we would have section D, which we're gonna slide this right up next to our roof bracket, which if you are running a SuperATV hard roof, you would wanna leave this bracket installed. If you're not running the hard roof, you don't have to worry about it. This bracket's not gonna be here. So we're just gonna take our piece of Velcro and we're gonna slide it right in here. And there's gonna be a little excess. We'll go ahead and trim that off. And then we're gonna take our final piece, which is gonna be F. It's gonna lay just like right in here. Right in this area. So we'll go ahead and get it installed just like that. And then we're gonna grab all of our A's, so our A1s, our A2s, and our A3s. And we're gonna head inside and start getting them installed. So the first one we're gonna grab is gonna be A1. And as you can see, there's cutouts right here in the frame. We're gonna go ahead and install it to this one right here in the center. There'll be two A2s. One will go here and then one will go right here. So we have A1 and then both of our A2s in this location. And then right here in this location, we're gonna install A3. So go in here just like this. Like that. We'll do the same thing over here on this side. So at this point, it should look like this. You get A3, A2, A1, A2, A3. So next we're gonna grab strips D. And with strips D, you have an option here. You can wrap them around the roll bar, or you can take them and wrap them to the point where they would connect with C, right back here on the back side of the cage. What we're gonna do is, we're just gonna go ahead and undo them. This is the location you're gonna wanna be in. The bottom of this needs to be lined up with the top of the bolt here on your seat belt. And run it over to where it would touch C. Make sure that it's nice. Start it, and see, you can even wrap it around C if you want. It's not gonna hurt a single thing. You can wrap it around C so it'd look just like this. And then we're gonna put one like right in line with the center of this headrest. Give you kind of a comparison of where it needs to be. And then this last one needs to be right below this little bracket here on the frame. So it should fit just like this. Then we'll do the same thing for the opposite side. So you'll have one here, here, and then here. Before you can install your soft cab, the rear portion of it, if you're running a SuperATV hard roof, you want to make sure that you go ahead and remove your hardware and remove the rear bracket. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our soft cab, the rear portion of it installed. I like to use these brackets on the frame as a good centering point. I'm just gonna get it lined up, and obviously you'll have to come through and adjust it. But I like to do it for both sides, get it lined up, about how it's gonna go. And then we're gonna install these straps right here on the top of the soft cab. We'll tie these into the ones that we installed on the inside of the machine. Just go through, pull these nice and tight, strap them down. Just like that. We'll go over here to our sides, start working on them. And we'll go down here to the bottom. We'll start pulling down on it pretty tight here. So then once you have this installed like that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and grab the piece of our door and we'll start installing it as well. So we'll go right up here, we'll get our zipper, and we'll go ahead and get it zipped. Go through, we'll make sure everything's nice and tight. Everything's sealed up nicely, just like this. Looks like everything's lining up good. Go through, make sure that you have your cab enclosure pulled tight, everything's fitting good. You want to let it sit for 72 hours before you try to peel any of the Velcro off. That's going to make it adhere the best. And then, once you've done that, if you're wanting to install a roof or a flip windshield or anything with this soft cab enclosure, we're gonna have those videos on our YouTube page, so be sure to check them out. And that's all there is to it. That's how super quick and easy it is to install SuperATV's cab enclosure on this Ranger 1000. For more information on this cab enclosure or any of SuperATV's great products, feel free to give us a call at 855-743-3427 or check us out online at superatv.com. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.